Okay, cool. So when you look at number one, just stand still for a second. When you look at number one, I'm targeting the temple. Well, where's my hand at? It's really at his jaw. When I'm targeting the knee, where's my hand at? The soft spot of the ribs or even into the groin. So this is one of the nice things about the Filipino martial arts too, is line familiarization. When I throw this staff out here, I'm really throwing a right cross. When I'm going in here like this, it's really a low body hook. So if I go to natural grip, or palm down grip, you'll probably see it a little bit more clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it really could be 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. All I've done is change the range, but the line is the same action. If I come out into blade, you could see it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be all those actions. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the same action, high, high, low, low. And even if he's touching me, 1, and he punches, I'm already right here. So then my action is here. So I'm really neutralizing, checking, or back cutting, or again, neutralizing, checking. There's my slash, there's my hit. That hit pulls him into the slash that much more. So lot of movement, a lot of action. And the same thing correlates to interception. So if he does a high thrust, you know, I want to pop that fairly hard, okay? We're not going, really what I'm trying to do is just draw a correlation of attributes, okay? So sometimes we have to go into the what if and draw the connection. So he engages the knife, punches me, and then engages the knife again. So 1, 2, 3. See, now I have a chance to move. If we look at that with the staff, the movement becomes 1, 2, there's the pass, see, there's the hit, there's the neutralization, there's the nose break. A lot of different movement just comes out of that. So in essence, you know, when you look at it, what came first? An edged weapon or a big ass club? You know, I mean, dinosaurs and men want to eat. I don't want to get any closer to anybody than I have to. So if I could make this a spear or a sharpened tip, then this has a lot of power. When you look at that action just from one and his punch comes, well, I don't have to worry about his punch. I just take his eye out on the first line. So when you look at one, this is already here. You see? So even the check, so if I go 1, even the check, this is already here. If that knife comes out again, that's already a hit. And then there's another hit, that's a nut shot, and that's a face shot. And yeah, moving pretty good. I bet everybody goes, wow, you look so smooth. Yeah, show up tomorrow and we'll talk about that. But nonetheless, you know, I feel good when I'm on the floor. One thing I always say is, for me, heaven is never having to leave the floor. Because once I leave the floor, sometimes it feels like pure hell, right? Okay, so movement is movement. I'll take the blades. Thank you. All right. So when you start looking at that, you're like, hey, that makes sense. So the body mechanic factor, you can see how, and that forces an empty out. So to do a staff strike, my opposite side has to be rotated out. So I'm already in position to rotate. More importantly, to maximize my power, I'm pulling with my weapon. So just like the load here, as I pull my weapon, I'm not trying to increase my speed. It's the retraction of my body and the leverage off my legs that allow me to maintain some level of speed. So it's that eye-hand coordination, body rotation, and pivot that activate, make an old fart like me fairly fast still, just because I'm linking all of my body alignments together. So it's in uniform, and my energy to pull increases my speed. So when we lose physical speed, we activate timing and body mechanics to enhance what we already have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So what's interesting, because you know, this is the value of being an NSI practitioner or an instructor, is you have to kind of take your brain and look at it from 10,000 feet in the air, come back down. If you look at typical brush grab strike, you're just taking out the brush just to grab and strike. So right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus,
well, oftentimes I talk about that, the decadena of movement. And again, that could be decadena, figure eight, bang, bang, bang. Yeah. You're going 1, 2, 3. So there's a decadena or chain link to that motion. But a lot of times when I'm doing, say, Año Isa, brush grab strike, sometimes it's nothing more than check and hit. Mm-hmm. You know, that's really all I need to go. So if you poke me with the staff, see, oh, I'm right here. So when I retract, yeah, bang, huh? You see, that's the simplicity of it. But there again, as he strikes one, I'm here. Well, he's going to strike two. So I got to dissolve that and neutralize. Boom. Where's the brachial plexus? Or where's the, you know, right in here. So line familiarization back. And there again, when we go to, we go to 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I go to 1, and he targets 2. I cut that line here. Missed it a little bit because I don't really want wood seeks bone, so you're hurting your partner. So one of the rule of thumbs, and I know there's a lot of tough guys out there, but the rule of thumb is we all have to go to work the next day, unless we're all independently rich and so on and so forth. So it's important and imperative that you use safety first. A lot of stick fighters out there, wow, they could take a good beating. Take the hands off, take the helmet off, and tell me how long that fight's really going to last. Sure. You see, that's the problem, the misconception, kind of like sport jiu-jitsu. Do it on the concrete, broken glass, and people around with cowboy boots that don't know you. Well, it's a completely different game. So do rattan or stick or table or chair or weapon sparring, and you got a real problem.